Welcome back to The Explainer. So today, we are testing the absolute limits of what we know. We're diving into this fascinating source that literally throws 100 rapid-fire questions at its audience, covering everything from deep space to, well, pop culture. But, instead of just shouting random facts at you, we're going to do what we do best here. We're going to structure it, we're going to test those mental reflexes of yours, and see just how broad our collective knowledge really is when we map the whole thing out. To make sense of this wild 100-question gauntlet, we're categorizing the source's trivia into 4 distinct domains: the physical realm, the human map, the timeline of us, and shared culture. Let's get right into it.
Part 1. The physical realm. Science and the cosmos.
All right, I want you to test yourself right now. Think back to those middle school science classes, or maybe your favorite space documentary. Which planet is the absolute smallest in our solar system? Got your guess ready? Okay, let's see if you're right. It is, of course, Mercury. Now, what's really cool about this is how our source material playfully highlights a brilliant double meaning here. You see, Mercury isn't just the smallest planet. Mercury is also the name of that fascinating metal that's famously liquid at room temperature. It's just a great reminder of how one single word can unlock totally different branches of science. Let's keep that gamified momentum rolling and hang out in the chemistry lab for just another second. We all have it in our kitchens, right? We all put it on our food. But do you actually know the chemical formula for common table salt?
Well, according to the exact challenge presented in our source, the formula is NaCl. In exploring this specific trivia gauntlet, it's honestly fascinating to see exactly how these questions and answers are packaged to test the audience. It absolutely keeps you on your toes. Okay, let's close out the physical realm with a rapid-fire science round, straight from our source. Let's see how many of these spark a memory for you. From the interior angles of a triangle always adding up to exactly 180 degrees, to understanding that pH actually stands for potential hydrogen, then we're challenged to recall the freezing point of water in Fahrenheit, right alongside photosynthesis, that incredible process of plants converting sunlight into energy. And finally, the gas that makes balloons float, that'd be helium for sure. It's amazing how much of our everyday life is just applied science. Moving right along to Part 2, the human map, global geography. So our source neatly groups this geographic trivia by what makes different nations famous. For instance, Canada's capital is Ottawa, while China takes the absolute crown as the largest producer of tea. Finland, well, they're famous for introducing the sauna to the world. And Spain is the birthplace of the incredible flamenco dance. It's like every single country has its own unique fingerprint on the map of human geography. Now for a classic geographical trick question. I'm going to ask you to name the largest desert in the world. But wait, before you answer, I'll give you a little hint. It might not actually be full of sand. If you guess the Sahara, yep, you fell right into the trap. The correct answer is actually the Antarctic Polar Desert. This one efficiently shatters those common geographic misconceptions. You see, a desert is defined by its total lack of precipitation, not by its temperature or its sand dunes. Rounding out our global map, we have exactly 7 continents in the world. We find the famous City of Canals over in Venice. Our planet boasts a massive, beautiful, largest coral reef system. And hey, if you're looking for the absolute tallest waterfall on Earth, you'll need to travel to Angel Falls. All right, Part 3, the timeline of us, history, and human innovation.
Here we're looking at a timeline at the 20th century based strictly on the unique challenge dates from our source material. In 1912, we have the tragic sinking of the Titanic. Jump forward a bit to 1945, and we see the founding of the United Nations. And as presented in this specific trivia challenge, the source lists the end of World War II as taking place in 1946. It's definitely a striking look at exactly how historical timelines are mapped out within this specific quiz. But, human history isn't just about dates and global conflicts. It's heavily driven by inventors who completely revolutionized industry. So here's your next challenge. Who was responsible for inventing the steam engine? The answer is James Watt. His improvements to the steam engine were absolutely fundamental to the Industrial Revolution, completely changing the course of our history and really paving the way for the modern world we live in today. And finally, Part 4, shared culture, arts, entertainment, and sports. Let's start this one with a quick trip to the movies. Quote, "I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse." I challenge you right now, Call it out, name the classic film this legendary line comes from.
It is, of course, from the cinematic masterpiece, The Godfather. Honestly, it's a line so deeply embedded in our shared culture that even people who haven't ever seen the film usually recognize it.
And this brilliantly illustrates how culture isn't just movies and sports, right? It's also the quirks of the language we share. Our source highlighted this fantastic linguistic fact, the definition of a palindrome. It's a word that is spelled exactly the same forward and backward, using radar as the absolute perfect example. Now let's test your visual memory when it comes to a massive global cultural symbol. Close your eyes for just a second and visualize the Olympic flag. Got it? Okay, now guess the exact number of interlocking circles it contains.
So, the crucial point here is that it's exactly 5. 5 circles representing the interconnected continents of the world's coming together. Let's conclude our cultural section with one final rapid-fire blast of fun facts. Did you know Twitter's original name was actually spelled completely without vowels, just TTTTR? The holiday Thanksgiving is widely known colloquially as Turkey Day. Over in Greek mythology, Zeus sits at the very top as king of the gods. The U.S. flag boasts 13 stripes and your standard acoustic or electric guitar. It holds exactly 6 strings waiting to be played. And that brings us to the end of our mapped-out trivia journey. So, I have to ask you, how many of these facts did you actually know right off the top of your head? Mapping out knowledge like this, from the literal physical realm all the way to our shared culture, it really shows us just how incredibly vast human knowledge is. But more importantly, it kind of makes you wonder, what gaps in your own map are you going to fill in next? Keep learning, keep challenging yourself, and I will see you in the next explainer.